It's my friend right there who I'm so bad with names.
Chi
Ling. Shout out to you, Chi Ling. Shout out to Marcus, the OG. Let's get it.
All right, guys, we're finally here at the Tiny Salon Concert Series Part 4. And today we have Davin Productions, who, if you've read any of the captions, you know that I was super excited to have in here today. He was here at the last Tiny Salon concert with Gabe Alonzo and the rest of the man's them. And he's ended up sharing some music with us, and I was like, yo, this guy definitely needs to come in and do one of these tiny concerts because super, super talented. What happened to my mic?
Why's the reverb like that?
It's fine.
Too high.
What happened though? All right, we're back. So, as you know, we're gonna shoot the shit, we're gonna twist some locks, and we're gonna listen to some music. So Davin came all the way from Vaughan. That's why we're starting a little bit late today, because it was a little bit of a distance. You had to come from yonder. And so I have some questions for you. Why do you do this?
Honestly, nah.
It's probably easier to hold the mic, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
What is your why?
Man, I mean, when you talk about the why, I could be here all night. I'm going to try and condense it to the best of my ability. But, you know, music is something that is really a power. It's like a tool. And so ever since I was 14, I started getting into music, specifically with songwriting and rapping. And over time, I'm like, well, okay, I'm getting good, I'm getting better. It's like every 6 months, because when you dedicate yourself to something, consistently, there's incremental growth. And by the time I got to like 15, 16, I was writing like a bunch of songs every day, got really good at that. But I didn't know the other side of music, which is producing. Right? And so if I ever wanted a beat on YouTube, even when the beats say free, they're not really free, right? And I never really just in life wanted to be like, I didn't want to have any limitation essentially. And producing was something where I wanted to learn, you know, that way I could be more free in my endeavors of creating music. And that's actually freed me up a lot. So really just having that freedom, that versatility, you could never have too much of one thing, to say the very least. So that's really my why. You know, I don't want to have no limitations when I'm making songs. I also don't want to pay other producers if I could do it myself.
Facts upon facts.
Right? Like,
what was the first beat that you made? How old were you?
Oh, that's such a good question. Thank you, Naya. The first beat that I made, I believe, the first unofficial beat was really when I was like 18. I was in college. First semester, and I was actually...
You're not 18 now?
No, I'm 24. Well, black don't crack. Black don't crack. You see
Bro,
this?
you're not even at the crack stage.
But well, honestly, like, it's funny because I normally talk about myself like I'm a lot older, but I think, honestly, when you live so much life and you've gone through just a bunch of experiences, meeting so many great people like you guys online and even in person, again, it's like, you know, you really kind of just have a different perspective. But yeah, no, I actually made my first beat when I was 18. It was horrible. I actually didn't even have the full version of FL Studio, which is the DAW that I use. And I was literally just messing around with like the kicks. I had no melodies. Like, I was actually very much, I would say, petrified of just learning FL Studio because you have so many options, and like it was something where I'm like, yo, honestly, I'm never gonna really learn this. It's intimidating. But eventually, the pandemic came, fast forwarding things, and by the time I got to like 20, I really had a little bit more money saved. Shout out to them CERB checks. Hey, shout out to them CERB checks, boy. I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, I was working a year prior. Listen, I was working my behind off leading up to them, you know, to COVID. But
a lot of people started their dreams of CERB. Mad people did. What else were we supposed to do? We weren't allowed to go outside, couldn't do nothing.
And them CERB checks was hitting.
Investment.
Yo, investment.
Right? Long-term investment.
Yes.
But when I saw that $2,000 check, I said, yo, I feel like Elon Musk. I feel like Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? This is some. So, you know, honestly.
How did you decide which workstation you were going to use?
Oh, okay. That is such a good question. I would say really FL Studio was something that I always saw growing up. So even way before producing, when I got into it for myself, I just always saw it on YouTube and saw other creatives, other producers mainly use that DAW or program. And so when you talk about the Metro Boomins of the world, the Boy Wonders of the world, and all these great, yeah, man, shout out to Boy Wonder too, because we in Toronto. So brother, when you see this, man, I'd love to work with you one day. But shout out to you, legend, fam. And
the manifestation.
I'm telling you,
I see you.
exactly.
Right?
That's and you gotta speak it, So I really, really believe that, starting here, just being in this chair, it means so much to me. But FL Studio was always a program, Naya, that I've just used. And it's always been something that I've seen. So when I hear about Logic later on in Ableton, it never really stood out to me because I was never so much invested or interested
Well, what made
in it.
this workstation better than the other ones? Like, there's usually like something that's like, you need a certain feature that you want to use, or workflow,
That's
or
right.
I don't know if it like compatibility, plug and play. Like, what was the thing that like was like, yeah, this is what's gonna work best for me?
That's such a good question. I would say, so funny enough, when I was saying how I started music production at 18 and I was really, really bad at it, and one of the things that I was intimidated with was the UI. Eventually, by the time I got to 20, COVID came, I started making beats officially. I started to also get very much enamored into the options, into the user interface, into, a bunch of things that I just never really knew existed within the program. So I would say overall, yeah, like just that I would, how do
Was
I
it kind
word
of
it?
like you already were like down that rabbit hole, so like why try a new one?
Right, exactly. Like I put in so much time, I invested so much energy into FL Studio, and so by the time 6 months rolled around, another 6 months, that's 1 year down my belt, another year passes, and I'm just like more and more invested into FL Studio, and it just became easier, from that point on.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, before we actually went on air, we were talking about women, right?
Yes. Oh.
And I do believe that you have a song called, what is it, Black Queen?
Yeah, Black Queen, of course.
So what's about that? What's that all about? And why is there a V in it?
Ooh, okay. Okay, this right here. So this is a whole story, and I'm so glad you asked me that, Naya. So for the viewers online,
Can we get a little background, Black Queen, while we're chatting?
of course. Listen, I'm gonna play that beat right now. It's an Afro beat. I made this during a very interesting time of my life. I'm gonna say I got into a relationship. It was a very unique one, and it didn't really look like some other ones that I've been in. So this was essentially an online type of, a relationship, which was new to me. I've never done this before or after. But let me find it right now. Here it is. So what I'm gonna play right now is an Afro beats. Perfect. Have that. Take that in right there. I'm gonna come back to y'all in a second, but let's actually soak this up. Like, there's so much of a story that this beat shares. Hey. So,
sorry, go ahead.
no, thank you. Honestly, like, this beat right here, it's an Afro beat, specifically South African type of beat. And the relationship that I was in was actually with a South African woman. So, it was a very great time because I got to learn more about the culture, and it opened a new sort of desire as a producer to produce Afro beats, right? And so before I never pushed myself to like start producing it until that relationship, kind of happened. And we're not in a relationship anymore, but there's so much creative juices that just flowed ever since. So this is one of those products that really came from that relationship.
The juice.
Exactly.
Don't mind me, I'm very inappropriate.
No worries. I love it. Honestly, you are amazing. So, by the way, guys, when you talk about Afro beats too, another thing that sticks out. Should I take off my glasses now?
No, you're good.
Okay. So another thing that really sticks out to me is you hear the beat in the background. There's so much different elements that, as a mainly, I would say, hip hop producer, there's a lot of different elements in Afro beats that you don't hear in so many different genres. So I mainly produced hip hop at a point in time, and then I had to really diversify myself.
So what's the main difference you think you hear between Afro beats and rap beats? or even reggae, because they're really similar.
Exactly. Oh yeah. You know what it is? Such a great question. The difference that you would hear with the sounds and the instruments from Afro beats, reggae beats, dancehall beats to trap beats is that the instruments used are very, very different. So you're going to be using real instruments more so for African beats and Jamaican beats compared to like the 808 type of sounding, instruments and plugins for the hip hop beats. So
when you have live instruments, right? Are you playing the live instrument or is it an instrument pack?
sometimes. So that's a good question. Yeah. So I play the piano, and honestly, with the piano, I love that instrument so much because with especially DJing, but even with producing, you can use the piano for different instruments as well. So whether it's for the actual keys itself or for drums, you name it, right? Like the saxophone, as random as that might be, the strings. So getting into the piano was something that really, really meant a lot to me because I got to really like be more freed up, not only with just knowing how to play like more freely, but even when you talk about just playing and not needing some days instrument packs, some days you're just gonna want to play and record it and have like the authentic sound, and then other days you're just whether you're lazy or like whether you're just in a mood for the sound packs, you're gonna want to use those. So
have you ever had any of your production played entirely with live instruments?
No.
Like someone say they hear this band, this beat, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get like a band to like play it.
Ooh, not yet. I always it's funny because like I've had at most somebody play the guitar to one of my songs, right? Where I was just kind of in the studio and they kind of like literally played in the background while I was singing the chorus, the hook, and all of that. But I was never officially in front of a band, in which I want to do that, to say the very least. Like Naya, that is something, guys.
Out there.
Yeah, I do.
I've done a show like that before. It's
really?
a lot of fun. Yeah, I did a show like that many moons ago.
Oh, cool.
With a group that you may or may not be familiar with called Big Black Lincoln.
Why does that sound so familiar?
That's Toronto freaking classics, baby. Yeah.
Well,
Shout out Big Black.
What's his name? Rodala, Agile, Socrates, and what's the other homie's name? Shikari Knight. And they did the whole album. Mm-hmm. You should definitely take in the BBL album.
Definitely.
And we did it all. The entire thing was with a live. We had French horns, violins.
That is crazy.
Keyboards, drums,
no, thank you.
It was a really, really fun show to do.
Oh man, thank you guys. Good looking.
Intimidating, but fun because I was in the company of a lot of heavy hitters.
Right, I know what you mean.
You know who one of the other background singers was?
Don't tell me. Oh man, who was it?
Melanie Fiona.
What?
Yeah, she's Canadian.
I didn't know that.
She's a Canadian bana. But she Guyanese.
All right.
But yeah, so being in that type of company, it was intimidating. But what an experiment and what an experience, going through hearing each of the parts be kind of translated from production, studio production into live music.
That's right.
And as fantastic as that production was, hearing the live version of it just blows everything out the water.
And that's a good point, Naya. Yeah. That's a good point. To my friends, my family, my community, I often say tribe. To those watching online, guys, when you actually perform in front of a live band, to say the very least, it does hit different, to Naya's point. Yeah. And so that is one of the reasons why I really want to perform, just before a band where they're playing live actual instruments, because I feel like I don't know, Naya, if it's you, but you feel more pumped up because I've seen other artists kind of play live in front of bands.
Well, I think it's science. I think everything is science. Because when you hear a live instrument, right? Yeah. So think about the difference between if you heard a recording of me singing,
yes,
versus hearing my voice right now, right? You're getting a vibration that you're not going to get through the electronics, right? When you put it through electronics, you're still getting a vibration, but it's a different vibration, right? Yep. And especially with instruments like drums, horns, those instruments tend to kind of resonate in your body. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it gives you as you say, you're calling your people the tribe. It gives you that tribal kind of it hits you deeper. Come on. It reminds me of do you remember the scene in The Matrix when they were dancing? Everyone was dancing and it was a big sweaty rave or something like that. Yes. But everybody was in tune with like that rhythm.
There you go.
Right? So for me, that is the difference between like live instrumentation.
Come on. That's so good. That's so good.
Okay.
Bye, my friend.
See you next time. Thank you for coming. Let me give you a hug.
And for those watching, stay tuned. I got some more tunes. I got some more beats. I'm going to pull up another one right now.
Yeah, please do. The open mic is going to be on the 18th. Okay.
I got a nice dancehall.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Dancehall beat for my Jamaicans, for my Caribbean folk. Guys, I'm about to play this dancehall beat right now.
Good, because I was hoping reggae was next.
Tap in. Soak this one up, guys. This one's, oh man, I love this vibe. I love this vibe so much. Marcus, you might spit a verse upon this one, brother?
We need Peter for that. Peter to come and sing for like 4 hours.
Yo! I wanted to have an emotional vibe with this one, with the piano, the strings. And so I was in my bag here, you know what I mean? I feel like, ooh.
So I just had an Uber driver, right? African Uber driver. And I asked him how he felt about Afro beats being kind of like used by non-African people, right? And he was like, Afro beats is for everybody. But then I was like, well, what about like the Americanization of it and the commercialization of it? And then he totally changed his tune, right? And he was like, why is Chris Brown winning awards, you know?
On Afrobeats.
So what do you think, like, do you think that Afrobeats, reggae, like, how do you feel about like musical gatekeeping?
Okay, it's so crazy that you asked me this question. And by the way, I want to shout out Chris Brown because, like, I do want to shout out Chris Brown because, yo, low key, like, and a lot of guys, like, when I say this, I can appreciate R&B because he is a vocalist, but when he does use a lot of, different, I would say, sounds, and he kind of experiences with, like, different cultures. Even Drake, he does it as well. Before, it was something that was very new to me, and I think with a lot of things that are new, it's something where it may not be as easily digestible. And so it's like, I've never heard something like this before. Like, it sounds different, but it's going to take me some time to warm up. And so with Chris Brown, to say the very least, and how he does that, like going on so many different Afro beats. It's funny enough, I have some Afro beats that are Chris Brown-esque. But in all seriousness, it's like, it's something where a few years ago he wasn't doing. A lot of people who gatekeep it, I understand where they're coming from, because when you talk about music and culture, that's a very important aspect I'm not going to overlook. A lot of people, to say the very least, they don't appreciate if any and everybody essentially uses their type of culture for songs to really profit for their own selves. And it kind of opens up a very great discussion, Naya, and everybody watching, because for me, I simply feel like if you're showing homage to the culture, if you're showing respect, if you're not in it for like wrong intentions, but if you genuinely are a fan of Afrobeats, you want to spread it and use your talent, then without question.
So how do you tell the difference between appreciation and appropriation?
That is such a good question. That is such a good question. I feel like that is something that I'm still looking into. But I will say though, with appreciation, like speaking for my own self, I love Afrobeats, right? Even though I'm Jamaican, I'm Caribbean, to say the very least. I think ancestrally it's unique for me too, because, ancestors are African. So I can at least use that. But I do know that for me, like, I just genuinely appreciate the different elements, the different vibes and energies you get from Afrobeats opposed to hip-hop. And, even vice versa, like hip-hop opposed to Afro. So for me, I can appreciate it. Now, such a hard question, Naya. Oh, man.
Like, what would you have to be doing in your production for you to be like, I am no longer appreciating this, I am totally appropriating?
I feel like...
Is there a distinct difference?
You know what there is?
Or does it depend on where you come from?
So I think it depends on where you come from, but at the same time, I think that, to say the very least, like if you're somebody who automatically just changes and you go 180, like cold turkey on the very thing that made you blow up, right? And then now that maybe that genre that you specialized in and blew up off of isn't that hot, if you're now just kind of hopping on the wave and doing what is just always hot, what is always trending on the TikTok or the ticket talk, as some Jamaicans say, I feel like...
Like Beyonce?
Essentially. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
So just to piggyback on what you're saying, does it come down to a matter of ethics?
Absolutely. Yeah, it comes down to a matter of ethics, because...
Ethics or ethnics?
Both.
I think both, because as you said, Naya, where you're coming from, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you are ancestrally African, just in the case of Afrobeats, by the way, right? But if you're ancestrally something in a particular area of music, to say the very least, then I do believe you kind of have a quote unquote right to create it. But even if you're not ancestrally, let's say, a particular culture of music, if you are a fan of it, and if you're not just caught up on catching the wave, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you know you're going to leave that wave of that next big thing that is of a different culture, once that dies down, if you're not that person that only cares about staying relevant, but genuinely can contribute to the culture, then I believe that it is authentic, Naya and Marcus, and like...
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Well put. Well put.
It's a fine line. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have art people doing grunge and all these different types of music too. What do you call that? Is
And-
it appropriation or what is it?
And so that's the thing, right? Like, that's the thing.
Can black people really appropriate music though? Since
We
almost
are the
all
originators.
genre, like we,
And I-
were the, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We are the originators, and I'm glad you guys brought that up. So, for everybody watching online, right? Like, this might be a hot take or whatever the case is, but...
We love hot takes.
Controversial. And I've always been somebody that's kind of played a little safe, at least as of late, but I will say, we don't... like my politician voice and answers.
You're appropriating right now.
No, but... I'm joking, but guys, we're just having a good time. But honestly, I do feel like black people cannot really appropriate any sort of genre of music. That's just my reality. Because when you look at it, we've created jazz, we've created rock and roll, and I don't think, maybe some people watching now, maybe some of you guys may not even know that and be aware, but like, we've created so many genres that, oftentimes, whether it be our community and the people within it themselves, or even many other people outside of the black community, they don't realize and understand the richness and wealth that black people have created just through music. DJing in New York in 1970, that was created by a Jamaican brother. He was a DJ, and overall, like, hip hop was created from that brother. So, when you talk about your history, like, we can't culture appropriate, man.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So you also got some R&B vibes.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
So would you say that, like, is R&B kind of like the middle ground for you between like reggae and doing Afro beats? Because I feel like when we're listening to Afro beats, we get a lot of like R&B melodies over top of it, but then there's like a heavy bass line, which is really similar to like rap and reggae.
Exactly.
So like how do you kind of like get your brain to like not do dancehall and reggae when you're doing like R&B? Do you get demoitis?
Sometimes, literally, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be so real. Like, so I've been producing for 5 years consistently, right? Or actually, I'll say for the most part 5 years. Sometimes I'll have a few breaks, but I do get that sort of like demoitis, in which you produce so much of that. Yeah. And it's funny enough that you say that, Naya, because guys, so for my producers out there watching live or even who are gonna run it back, oftentimes when you kind of get into this sort of groove where you're in your bag, you're in your quote-unquote pocket of just producing a particular genre, you're going to kind of sometimes get carried away with producing a lot of that one genre, right? And before I used to fight it, but now I just really tell myself that everything done in moderation is good. So I still believe that too much of one thing may or may not be the best, but I feel like, to say the very least, as a producer who was so dynamic in my producing abilities with different genres, I still find myself sometimes, if I create too much like Afro beats, or if I create too much dancehall beat, some of my songs right after, some of my newer beats, they're gonna kind of have a little twist, a little sort of. So it does happen a lot. But I always get out.
What do you do to get yourself out of that?
Oh man,
like if you're in a like a perfume store and you're smelling all kinds of stuff, you get some coffee beans to like reset, right? So like, what's your coffee beans? How do you reset?
Oh wow, I love that question. Yeah, honestly, I would say just really sticking to it, repetition, right? So the more beats you make, and as long as you have intentionality and a vision for like what overall mood that you're in and what you want to have like the listener feel, what genre do I want to make? Also, you got to know your BPM, beats per minute, right? So, because that plays a big part in different genres. Some genres usually have faster BPMs and some genres slower. So once you kind of have a direct like vision, even though you'll kind of have a little bit of that lingering taste, you know what I mean? The oxtail, the rice and peas from my from my Caribbean, like, even though you're going to kind of have that lingering taste, over time, you're going to kind of break out of it. And so, for example, a lot of times, like what I was saying, when I would make so much Afro beats, eventually my newer beats where I kind of want to change shift and like change direction, maybe the beat right after that would still kind of have some elements, but then the beat after that one now is going to kind of now like reset everything, right? And kind of have that equilibrium, be in effect.
So you said something interesting. Do you, when you're starting out to create,
Right.
are you generally or usually creating for yourself or your audience first?
Oh, wow. So this is one of my favorite questions. This is truly one of my favorite questions, and it speaks very deeply to me because I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. Like, as a producer and just as an overall creative from Toronto, GTA area, a lot of people over my journey have told me, like, Davin, why do you produce? And I tell them why. Like, and to answer your question, Naya, it's mainly for myself and both myself and the audience. Like, I literally want to produce for me and everybody. Where
do you feel like your instinct hits first?
Right. It's such a tough question.
Down at your workstation,
Right.
you're like, I'm going to create.
Right.
Like the first things that you start to set out to do, are you doing them more so for yourself? Like, this is your vibe, what you're feeling, and then it kind of turns into, okay, what can we give the audience? Or you're like, no, we're making this for the people, like right off the bat.
9 times out of 10, I'll be honest with you. 9 times out of 10, I'll actually kind of make a vibe that really speaks to me first and foremost. And like what I'm going through just in life, whatever mood that I'm in. So if I'm emotionally kind of going through, let's say, I don't know, some like turmoil or stress, if I'm kind of maybe not going through it in the way that I want to be going through a day where I'm feeling all this extra emotion, right? Excuse me, guys, allergies, by the way. Yeah, I forgot my nasal spray, but so yeah, like if I'm going through a lot of anger on a particular day or stress or sadness or because I'm a deep thinker to say the very least, and I'm not an angry guy, but like for example, if somebody like at work pisses me off, like because you have these customers and God bless the that has happened, by the way. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Because I got a dentist appointment tomorrow, and the money coming out of my pocket. That's the crazy thing. The money coming out of my pocket. So, but if you know, you know. I ain't gonna say too much there.
Things can happen.
Things can happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he helping me. But so no, like getting back to the question though, it's like I mainly do music production based off of how I'm feeling, and then I'll think about maybe other people and if they could even relate, right, or not. So I mainly do it based off of just myself, and there are some days in which I'll kind of like maybe switch it up and then maybe go for what other people may want, but that's not so often. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Would you say that? Shoot, what was I gonna ask you? There's something that you said that like triggered a thought. Would you say that when you're creating like from an emotional space? Yeah. Are you putting that emotion like into the music? Or are you doing that to like release?
Both.
Oh
man, both. I love that question so much because for me, guys, it's really both. Like I want to release, and I oftentimes say that with music production, you create almost like your own reality. You create your own atmosphere. Even with DJing as well too, like you can create just with the power of music a whole new ambience and vibe that can alter your mood for better or for worse. And so this is why oftentimes I'll go into it for myself because it's mainly medicine and therapy for me, where if there's so many things going on, the economy, you look at all like that's just going on, everything is expensive essentially, cost of living, and it's only going up higher and higher and higher. Shout out Trump for the tariffs, not to get political, but to say the very least, it's like it's stressful. People are struggling out here. And so for me, my kind of out, in a healthy way, of course, is music. It's music production all the way. And so I get to pour every single emotion and thought that I've been touching on just now with you guys into that music, into the vehicle of FL Studio. And from there, I get to make whatever vibe.
So speaking of this claff.
Right.
Has the U.S. tariff things affected your career music-wise in any way?
You know what? Honestly, it slightly has. It slightly has. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've kind of taken a step back, especially these past few weeks. And I know that every single week that passes in this, I would say, month as well as last month of March, it kind of gets worse and worse as we get closer to the tariffs. Now I think we're actually like in the middle of the whole tariff nonsense. But I kind of have, for the most part, been dodging it, but it's still hitting me slightly with, sometimes just even networking with other creatives, and it's like naturally prices go higher, right? Because it does affect the general society. So, for example, whether it be something as small as overall studio equipment that I need as a producer for my own setup, that is now affecting me where them $10, that extra 25, 30, 45 bucks, that adds up, man. And so it ain't, sir, we ain't getting them serve checks no more. We got to start working again, and doing what we got to do. So in all seriousness, it's like, it has affected me, Naya, I'm not going to lie. But
so like with mostly like things that you need to purchase
exactly
from abroad in order for you to do your work.
Exactly.
Do you think that there's anything that we can do as Canadians to like keep that in-house? Like provide each other with something of some sort, like, I don't know, like a equipment training.
Oh, wow.
Something or another, so that we're not, because I mean, these kind of problems really just give us an opportunity to be creative and develop something new.
That's right. That's so right. Honestly.
The what is it? Mother's the how does it go? Necessity is a mother of all invention.
Oh, yes.
Because we need a different solution now, you're gonna kind of like come up with something.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
For sure. But
that's really, really interesting though. That because at first I wasn't really expecting you to say yes, but that absolutely makes sense. Like, do you buy say you bought a music pack from somewhere and it comes from the States? Is it now like way more expensive or? Yes.
So, but that has actually been the case even before tariffs, because our Canadian dollar, unfortunately, is very trash. Yeah. So, for my fellow Canadians, my brothers, my sisters, unfortunately, we're kind of going through it, and we have been going through it. Shout out Trudeau, no
Let's
shade.
Not shout out Trudeau.
That, by the way, that was just sarcasm. I want to be very clear. Disclaimer. But
that man actually upsets me.
I know, me too. Yeah, me too. Like, if you guys are seeing this, to say the very least, like, Trudeau, come on, man. I know you stepped down, but you should have made it better for us. But anyway, I do feel like, just a lot of American products, online, whether you're buying them virtually or even just physically, right? Like the shipping, there's so many things that you just have to pay extra for.
Right.
And the tariffs are making it a little bit worse.
And then DHL calls you and is like, you have to pay an extra fee to collect this box.
Exactly. And Naya, So, and I don't want to complain too much, because you know what, this is our reality, but I even want to get back to something you said earlier, which is just us supporting our own selves. This is something where, when you especially talk about Canadians in Toronto, the GTA folk, we gotta really look out for each other. And so what we're doing right here, and I thank you guys so much for just participating, for watching, being on the live, having a good time with us. Some of the political jokes, I speak for myself. I do not speak for Naya or anybody else for Clean Locs, but I'm just really having fun as I speak to you guys. But I really thank you for supporting us and what we're doing here, me being in this seat, because we need more Nayas, we need more Clean Locs, we need more Marcuses. Shout out Marcus, DJ Marcus. Y'all need to tap in with him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, of course, man, DJ Intellect on Instagram. You guys find him. I feel like we need more collaboration and we need more authenticity, right? I feel like authenticity is something that, dare I say, is slightly watered down because it's used so much, but it's never really acted out fully. And
used fully, or just the verbiage?
Yeah,
the words are just kind of tossed out there.
Exactly. Authenticity, whether you're creative, whether you're not a creative, in any way, shape, and form, to say the very least, a lot of people just toss this word out there, authentic. Oh, you want to, ray, you just want to support and da-da-da-da, but when it's time to actually support, it's another thing. And so I thank Naya. Sorry, Naya. I thank Naya so much, because she not only supports me, she not only reposts my stuff, but it's the small things that really, really counts and matters. And so when you talk about creatives really being there, not just saying it, but walking the walk, that's more of a culture that needs to be established. I believe in a lot of big cities, in Toronto especially.
Talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, talk about it, be about it, for real, so.
All right, let's get into some of these love songs.
Of course. So what am I gonna play? You know what? I'm gonna play a modern '90s, R&B type vibe. This is really a Naya type vibe. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Naya.
Let's see what one.
Hey, I want you to low key. If you want to sing, I want you to really vibe and sing if you feel led to.
Let's see what one.
Oh no. We gonna play another one actually. Hold on. So this beat that I'm gonna play is called '90s Love. So for my 90s babies, my 80s babies, 70s babies, and of course for me, I'm 2000. I always tell my, family.
Those are your grandparents, right?
Well, hey, hey man, hey, if you born in 2000 or later, comment in the chat. Just comment in the chat, say what's up. Let me see your what up, you know? Let me see.
That is so wild to me.
Yo, all right, here it is though. 90s love. This is for my.
What's your favorite 90s black love movie?
Oh my God, I'm gonna get exposed.
Young guy.
I'm gonna get exposed.
You know I love kick people out of here.
He's trying to take his black card. He's trying to take his black card. Don't do that.
Hey.
Man.
Hey, there's probably modern ones that maybe I don't know.
You're wicked, you know.
You're wicked, buddy.
You're wicked.
Tell me about the films that were made 20 years before your birth.
And go.
Well, all right. You know what? So I do have siblings born in the 90s. You know, shout out Darren, shout out Dana. But you know, for me, like, I'll be honest with you guys. This is gonna sound like a cheap cop out. This is gonna sound like cap.
I'll give it to you, bro. Don't worry. I'm nice.
Like a movie. When you talk about movies, I'm kind of more so laid back and like we'll just watch it if it's on the TV because you know we don't really do them. Yo, movie theaters is like back in the day growing up.
Don't kill me.
Yo, we would go there like if it was a celebration, like if it's your birthday, you know what I'm saying, one of them ones. But no man, I mean there's so many great black 90s and even 80s like love movies, you know.
Tell me about them now. I see your style.
Yeah, yo, poetic justice. You know what I'm saying?
You call your lifeline?
Hey yo, hey everybody in the Instagram live, comment in the chat now. Help me out one time. Tell your brother, tell your boy Dav, aka Davin Productions, some good 90s love movies to say the very least. You know, but poetic justice. I was gonna, you read my mind because I was gonna say that. You see? See, you're right when you call it. I was gonna say that, but
So, as a producer, right?
Right.
I actually came up with this idea. Tell me what you think, right?
Ooh, okay.
So you run a movie,
Right.
But sometimes you run a movie and like the soundtrack is trash, right?
Right.
So imagine you're running the movie, but you reproduce all of the music that's supposed to go.
I love that. It's so crazy that you say that. I've actually done many things like that where I'll literally.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've recreated. Now it's on my old laptop, sadly, that died sometime
Like, show
ago.
me where it is. I want to see.
Like I've created covers even, like, you know, so whether it be for songs officially released, but I've done that for movies as well, because, you know, sometimes it's missing a little bit of that seasoning, that sauce, you know, that umph. And to say the very least, yeah, like that's actually made me sharper as a producer. So when you could, yeah.
No way.
Oh man, I mean, well, in of itself, to recreate something and or to add your own twist on it is it's very hard for beginners. It's more so an intermediate thing, and so I pushed myself as a producer in this journey to really do what is uncomfortable. And I think oftentimes in life, guys, and let me know if you agree with this in the chat, but oftentimes when something is a little bit difficult and uncomfortable, you know, people, it's this like innate feeling where we'll run away from it, or at least that's what's comfortable. But just because something is comfortable, that doesn't mean we should just go to it for that reason. So as a creative, like whether that's in this case just producing things that are hard to say at the very least, recreating songs, sometimes you're not even gonna have the same sounds. For my producers who know, you're not even gonna have the same sound packs, but you gotta figure out a way to get it done, because it's not about what you don't have, it's about what you have and what you could work with. And that's something that, shout out to my cousin Richie, you know, he's always reminded me of and just big on, so I really appreciate him. But
Yeah, that's a really good point. One of the first
Thank
things
you.
that I did was make jewelry, and there's literally like one store
Wow.
downtown that you can get like reasonable parts to make jewelry and stuff like that, and at a reasonable price, right?
Right.
And so at one point, I was vending somewhere, and one of my friends came back and they're like, "Oh, that girl over at the table has like the same beads, blah 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 blah." Right? And I was like, explain to her how it doesn't actually bother me,
Right.
Because I think it's so cool to see how so many people only have access to like a set amount of things.
Come on,
and you
come
just
on.
gotta be creative. You gotta think of some other ways to use it.
Exactly. And that's such a beautiful point that you bring up, Naya, because I'm telling you, guys watching online, I cannot stress this enough. Like, oftentimes it's like easy to be negative and focus on the thing. And I used to be here. Like, I used to be here heavily with producing and just in life, like overall. So taking a step just for a brief moment outside of creativity, I would always even say, and just focus on the things that I never had. I would compare myself to other people I'd see online, on social media. I mean, that's a big thing now. You see all these, you know, self-made millionaires, quote unquote. Some of them are fraud, some of them are real. But it's like, to say the very least, you know, I would compare myself at every stage and almost every year of my existence from a certain point where it's like, okay, I'm now this age. I'm now 21. I'm now 22, 23, 24. I don't have the fancy car yet. I don't have this like luxury lifestyle, to say the very least. But all of that comes when you work, to Naya's point as well, when you work with what you do not have and actually be appreciative of every step of the journey.
Yeah, it like forces creativity.
Exactly.
You know, like you don't have any other choice except to
make it work.
Exactly.
What you gotta do.
That's right.
And never forget, comparison is a thief of joy.
Come on, there you go, Richie. Comparison is a thief of joy. Shout out to my cousin. Facts.
Bomb.
And
show your face, man.
Question.
Yes.
Since you were talking about like the movie thing and all that, right?
Right.
So I hear like licensing is a big thing in
Yes.
music, especially with production and stuff now.
Oh.
How do you feel about that?
it's so funny because I used to completely hate the licensing war where
Why?
you know what?
What didn't resonate for you?
Because before I turned into a producer, I was just an artist who only knew how to make like just write my own lyrics and then rap and or sing.
Okay.
And so I hated the fact of like, oh my God, I gotta license this beat, I gotta pay for this, because you know I was kind of being a little cheap sometimes, and I didn't know essentially how to really, produce at that moment. So like I'd have my songs written out from YouTube beats, and then what would be annoying, guys, is when somebody would buy the beat and then now in the title of the YouTube video it says sold. I didn't care. I was still using the beat low key. I didn't. Now obviously nobody watching don't get no ideas because I never put anything out officially.
Me too.
But in all seriousness, like I had to shift my mindset from hating it specifically as like just a rapper to me now being a producer. I understand that this is how producers and just creatives alike really make money. Like licensing is important. Yeah.
Do you think that it has harmed or helped production?
Oh wow. I think I hate to like be that guy and kind of say both, because it sounds cliche, but it really has both like helped and harmed music production. Because I mean I've seen and heard a lot of toxic situations kind of spill out. Oh yeah, definitely. Let me play that 90s love, guys. Let me play that 90s love for you.
Oh, we're supposed to do like 15 minutes ago.
Hey, better late than never though. By the way, Marcus, quick thing, guys, quick second. You guys have any Kleenex? Allergies are killing. We gonna tap into some 90s R&B. Hey, Naya, this is a vibe. This is a Naya type beat. This is a Naya type beat. Hopefully she could sing. Hopefully she'll give us a little sneak peek, a present. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I have allergies too. Oh, no, I get the 3D version. Live and direct, HD.
1080p.
I'm curious, what about this beat made you think of me? Or make you think that it's a Naya type beat? Am I a type beat? Am I cool? Am I current?
But thank you. Honestly, I love that question so much. Let me actually play that back because I'm feeling this. Y'all hear the guitar in the back? Ooh. Come on, let me run that back. It's like, yo, Richie, you know what it's giving? It's like,
Davin Productions.
you're at Harbor, you're at Harbor Front, what's that expensive restaurant girls be going to now? Oh my God. Like, what is it?
These days,
Oh my. Yo, low key though, no facts. That's a fact. Yeah, Harbor 60 and another one. There's like another one, bro. Oh my. But Harbor 60, we're gonna go with that. This beat is like when you're taking a girl out on a date. You know what I'm saying? It's like night, the lights. Everything is looking nice. You got the little stingy steak on your plate. Like two streams of just vegetable and thing, but yo, for $100, like this is that expensive date music. Like, hold up. For those watching, see, I produce this beat, of course, Davin Productions. You can find me on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, when it comes to just making R&B beats, like it puts you in that type of vibe where, and you were asking me too, Naya, with the difference of like going from R&B to Afro beats, and then from Afro beats to like dancehall beats. But yeah, I do find that R&B beats, it's kind of in the middle, really, just in terms of like energy of those two genres. Because you still feel very deeply, but it's more so in like a loving sense. Whereas with Afro beats, you feel very deep, like upbeat vibe where you want to dance really, right? With the Afro type beat. So, oh man, that is such a good question. In terms of genre producing,
Yeah.
oh man.
Like which one when you're cooking, you're like, yeah, I'm really feeling myself.
I'm not gonna lie. So this is hey, I gotta shout out to trap beats. Like that trap hip hop, you know, it's something about it where, and I'm gonna show you guys that right after. I got a little, you know, sort of like Atlanta trap type beat.
Run it.
Let me run that right now.
Because towards the end of this, we're gonna have about like 10-15 left.
Got you.
Davin wants to produce on the spot. Yes.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Marcus, man. Thank you. I wanted to surprise you guys, and let me find that beat. I'm telling you, like, I even want to answer another one of your questions too, though.
You got a critiquer here.
I love it. I know I love it. I need that, honestly, just to make me get better. But I would say one of my favorite genre, not only to produce, is like, it's trap, like I said, but it's just because you kind of get in this different feel where I think R&B beats or R&B music overall, like Afro beats, dancehall, it's similar. You feel a sort of almost unique vibe, at least for me when I produce that, compared to trap. Trap, it's more grimy sometimes, and you know, you kind of ain't playing around. It gets you in that bag where it's like, yo, this is no joke. Let me get to it, right? Let me get on my stuff. Let me just keep grinding.
I don't understand it, but it gets the people going.
I'm actually gonna play a trap beat right now too. It's called Compelling, and I hope you guys like it. It's very melodic though. This one's not that grimy, but this one, let's play it. Yes, I remember. Yo, you gotta release that, by the way. Like,
oh yeah, I played it for you.
Yes. No, that was tough. Naya is such a creative. Like, she can sing and she could really, really put lyrics together.
I was like, you better not say rap because I can't rap.
You can rap. Hey, I'm telling you this right now. You're so multi-talented. This is another trap beat right here, though.
She can rap.
She can rap. I'm telling you. She's being humble, and I love it. But she can really.
Shit. That's what I do.
That's a style in of itself. That's an art form in of itself. That's right. So
hold on. This is a trap beat.
Kind of. I mean,
because this sounds like R&B to me.
It's like a love trap beat.
It's like a love trap beat, yeah, like a Gunna or Young Thug type, trap beat. But I want to show you guys one that's very, very grimy.
This is posh trap.
Yeah.
This is the Trappist.
Now, hey, y'all want something grimy? Y'all ask for it.
Can I offer you a tall glass of lean?
Hold on. Let me. Hold on. When I actually play a grimy trap beat, this is not even it. Hold on, let me go there. Hold on. What your name? Give me 1 second. I think I named it Spin the Block.
Interesting. I know love that.
It get real grimy. I'm gonna find it just now. Oh my lord, what is this called? But yeah, in the meantime, I named it Green Light as well. I think I have another one. Hold on. Spin the block. But I feel like with trap beats, some seasons you're gonna like it more than others. It all depends on where your headspace is at, like in what vibe you're in. Because oftentimes a lot of people say, oh, trap beats, it's of a lower type of frequency, which is true. The 808s, it is actually factual, but it all depends on what type of mood you're really in. I have a. Mm-hmm.
Would the bass line that you hear in like trap be much different than say the heavy bass lines you hear in like deep house?
Oh.
Because they got some you know what I mean? Like it's really down there.
That's true. No, that's a good question. Honestly,
or is the because we were talking about BPMs before, right? Does
yes.
the BPM kind of have anything to do with like how that bass line kind of comes through?
Big time. Honestly, like every genre for the most part. So a lot of times with trap beats, it has its like very, I would say, comfortable sweet zone hotspot for BPM where whether it be 110, like the one that I just played, the melodic one, that was 110 BPM. But some of them, they range from like 110 to, 160, 170. Now the ones that are 170, they're very, very like drill type trap music.
How many subgenres of trap are there? You can talk about music.
Oh man, right. Let me hold on. I think this is the one. This is the trap beat I'm really, really looking for that I want to play for you guys. But yeah, no, I mean, there's so many different subgenres. I would say somewhere around like 5 or so plus. Because, you got drill beat. People say drill is different from trap. I mean, I guess you could say that, but for me, I kind of classify it all. Because it is hip hop. But to say the very least, you have like the trap beats, the sort of melodic ones that I just played. Then you have the really like drill ones, the very grimy ones where you kind of want to... you want to iron your clothes with some vengeance.
When I hear drill, for me, that sounds like jungle.
Yeah.
It's the cousins with jungle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, I'm learning that there's like different types of trap.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Like you have you have the very melodic, and I just played it just now, but you have the Young Thug, Gunna type melodic trap beats. But then you have like, for example, what's an artist who's into the drill? You have an art, let's say, for example, like that really gritty, grimy chord, sliding music, which we do not condone, right? But no.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like really grimy music, essentially, though, with trap. It's like that is a subgenre as well.
Okay.
And so you have a few other ones, but for the most part, it's either like with trap, it's either very, very like peaceful, melodic, where you can almost kind of sing on it. And then you have some other ones where, even this one right here, it's a little bit more so on the grimier side. Yeah. So if you take that in. Nah, I actually even say that.
This is the one that you rap to?
Let's
hear it.
All right, so I'm rapping to this one right now, writing my lyrics. But I'm a freestyle for you guys right now. Okay, well, you know what? Can you give me a word? Naya, Marcus, Richie, y'all give me a word. I'm like, perseverance. I be persevering. Yeah, I know my worth is sharing, persevering. I know my work is just the clearest. Work is just the clearest. I be spitting on this open mic. Okay, hold on. I'm wrapping up now. I'm heating up. Look, yeah. I had to get it by any means. Got in my heart and my energy. Ballin' like Jordan like 23. Got in my energy. Devil not next to me. They cannot get to me. They never catching me. Got in my energy. It's somebody energy. Ball like I'm 23. Hold up. Yeah. I got the sauce. I'm going off. I ball like I'm Ross. They call me the boss. I got the sauce. I'm going off. Yeah. I'm on this microphone. Yeah. I'ma go. Yeah, I just really vibe. Switching up the time, switching up. Gotta switch it up. Look at my watch, drip it up. Yeah, drip it up. I don't even know what I'm saying. I ain't playing. I be flaming on this open mic. We be. Man.
Well done.
Thank you. That's just freestyle. Like, I got real music coming out where I'm gonna be recording, guys, real soon in the studio. Shout out to Rich. We locking in. So to say the very least.
All right, let's get this beat building going on.
Okay, Naya, guys, I was not gonna show this until Cuzzo said this. I do have one song out, but it's.
I think you should play it.
You've been holding out?
I've been holding out because
Oh my goodness! Premiere!
I released this. I did release it some time ago though, but it's on YouTube. What is it? You know what? Can I get the password for the Wi-Fi?
Oh, my brother wants to hear some soul house beats.
I
don't know if that's your vibe. If you want to build that on the spots.
Okay. Bet.
I want to hear your song first.
Okay, perfect. Let me what's the Wi-Fi name again, Naya?
SCCC4.
Okay.
Right here. SCCC number 4. You're welcome.
So just in a second, I'm gonna play. Thank you. I'm gonna play you guys technically my first single, but I don't really count it as that. I don't really do that, but we're going to do it tonight. And you know what? It's going to be a vibe. Like, yeah. Hold on. Let me connect right quick.
It's been filming the back of your head the whole time. No, I guess it fell. That's crazy. Let me just shut this off then.
Man, we'll connect to that Wi-Fi. In the meantime, I'm going to be playing some beats just for my audience.
This is already connected to
Oh, okay, perfect.
the Wi-Fi, so if you want to just run it from here.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to play my track. Thank you. Thank you.
So I don't know if you guys have been here since the beginning of this Tiny Concert Series Part 4, but this has been such a good conversation. We've touched on so many different topics. We talked about all kinds of different kinds of music, inspiration, got a little freestyle. Now we're going to get a premiere of some music that has yet to be released.
Yes.
Which I'm pretty excited about because, you know, one thing about me, especially as a Torontonian, we love a exclusive. We love a exclusive.
Come on, that's true. That's so true. And
Right?
I'm gonna pull it up right now. It's on
All right.
YouTube. Davin
So it's on YouTube, Davin Productions. That's the name to look for on YouTube and on Instagram and on BeatStars.
The title of the song is The Beginning. Thank you so much, Naya. The title of the song is The Beginning, and yeah, man, it's really just the beginning of everything. So I posted this about a year or two ago, but I've been sitting on this for even a little bit longer than that, and I consciously chose the name to be The Beginning because everything must have a start and end. And so I'm currently in this journey right now of just music where, especially with rapping, this is something you're going to hear more from me in the near future. So let's get it. It's a spiritual music, it's a spiritual song, by the way.
Heaven is my addy, devil send them baddies, yeah. I'm not in the tragedies. It's a lot of fake love going as my allergies. She asked me if I'm single, not at all. I told her I'm married to my call. I don't ever really wanna fall. Really, I'm just blessed I made it out. Only fearing God, not enough. Allergic to the frost, flooded with the sauce. What am I? Yeah. Standing on the block, I carry the cross, not a Glock. Focus on my watch, not a bride. Calling out my phone and now she wanna talk. I remember she was moving this. I am not impressed. She just wanna check. She cannot finesse. I'm watching my steps. Back door lock off. In the spirit pop off. Feel like Dada. Making out of dollars. I'ma cancel her Uber cause she ain't got no manners. Really this some money. Protected. Jaja. R.I.P. Mama. Connected to my city like it's Rogers. Devil tryna send all these attacks. Devil tryna send all of these traps. I be always dodging, never swerving, never crashing. And this life I'm dodging serpents, all the traps. I'm tired of the cap. Saying that she love me, I'm just tired of the act. I needed a change. Everything was great. Now I carry faith. Discerning all the fakes. I can't go astray.
Yeah, he feeling it.
From my city. But my God in the faith we be leading. A lot of days, a lot of times it be tricky.
I love this track.
Never trick me. Never selling out.
Never sell out, guys. Whoever's watching this, keep going. Just keep doing you. Keep locking in.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. That's literally what this song is about. Just being a better you spiritually and overall. So wait till that hook drop.
Kill the devil, then we roll. Only fearing God, not enough. Allergic to the frost, flooded with the sauce. What am I? Standing on the block, I carry the cross, not a Glock. Focus on my watch, not a bride. Calling on my phone and now she wanna talk. I remember she was moving next. I am not impressed. She just wanna check.
Yep.
She cannot finesse. I'm watching my steps. I know that I'm next.
I cannot forget. Woo. Look how catchy tune, you know? Look how catchy tune still, you know? So you can definitely find that on YouTube. That is one single of mine that I was not gonna show, but shout out to my cousin for it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, Marcus. Appreciate y'all, man.
Sounds clean.
Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Some dope bars in there.
Thank you, fam. Thank you, guys.
Keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you so much.
So we're just about to wrap up
Yes.
this wonderful evening. Let's let some of this beat building take us out, yeah?
Yes. Let's do it.
And maybe we'll do a little freestyling together, and that'll be a wrap for Tiny Salon Concerts Part 4.
Woo!
4 in a row. I don't know if you guys know, but that's kind of a big deal.
That's a big deal, honestly. And
Okay.
thank you guys again for coming out. Let's play it. We're gonna make some beats, as Naya said. Thank you guys for supporting me, showing me the love. Shout out Marcus. Shout out Richie for coming through for Naya. Thank you guys.
Well done. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Let's get to
An
it.
absolute delight.
Oh, thank you. And then we firing up the FO studio now. Let's do it. Let me do this. So what vibe are we going for?
It's still got the happy face drum pads in there. Still got that?
Yeah,
FL Studio?
they do. Yeah, but like
got,
the new version, they just stopped it. Now it's just like the regular boring like 808 kick rack.
Okay,
Then you have like the clap rack and then the kick.
yeah.
You know.
Do you have a request for drum and bass?
Ooh, drum and bass. Got
Do you have a
you.
request for soul house beats?
Soul House. Ooh, I never did that before.
Oh.
I never did that.
Do you feel like experimenting?
I do, but like, what is Soul House? Like, I've never really not trying to like
No,
give a
that's
hard
cool.
time.
No, that's cool. Soul. How would you describe soul house? It's
That's-
like R&B over house music,
Okay, got you.
but
Ooh.
more like, but not like pop R&B, like Erykah Badu R&B.
Ooh.
Yeah, like how
It's more neo warm.
Yeah, it's a lot
Rhodes,
warmer.
Rhodes.
It's very
Right, I mean,
cozy.
Okay. You know what? I actually am gonna experiment. Like, I've never done that before, but
Marcus,
shout out to you guys.
what do you think are like the top like 3 instruments?
So you would say like somebody like K Tronada
Okay.
would be like soul house.
Okay.
kind of thing. Like he would be somebody who you would look to for like soul house.
got you.
Geo theory, people like that. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, let's do it. I mean, let's do it. By the
I
way,
was asking what instruments are most common.
In the soul house?
Yeah.
I was just saying like Rhodes. You'll find a lot of Rhodes.
Ooh, I like
a lot
that.
Of certain types of synths.
I like that. Okay.
Some you probably find like a lot of saxophones and.
We can do
stuff
that.
like that. Yeah.
We can
Let's
do
make
that.
it happen.
Let's do it. Quick thing. So I'm gonna log back into the Wi-Fi, only so I could use the service that I have.
It's all good. I just want to. We're gonna sign off on this particular live, but I'm gonna restart the live when we do this beat build so that we
Let's
have
get it.
a nice clean
Let's get it.
video.
Hey, stay tuned.
So once again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for watching, for the love, for the support. I appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for the beat cook-up we're gonna do.
Yeah, man. Join back, sign back in, and check us out while we do this live beat build, and it'll be up on YouTube shortly.
Oh, I think something's wrong with my.